You're listening to the Trade Show Insights Podcast, Season 16, Episode 3. I'm your host and exhibit marketing strategist, Marlis Arnold, bringing you tools to improve your exhibit results. On today's episode, brought to you by the Exhibit Marketers Cafe, we've got a rebroadcast of our virtual lunch with Ramon Ray, sharing tips for improving the way we present ourselves online. Ramon Ray he's the perfect person to talk about digital charisma, which you'll find out here in just a minute as you see him talk and just see his approach. But just to give you a little bit of background on Ramon, and for those of you who were here last month, his article on digital charisma was one of the ones that I shared in the announcements section. So you may have already had a chance to go read that, but now we're going to talk in more depth. But anyway, Ramon was born in the Midwest and then moved to Brooklyn as a teenager. So he served at the UN, which I think is fascinating, for over 10 years before becoming a full-time entrepreneur. He started 4 companies and sold 2 of them. He's authored 4 books, including The Celebrity CEO. And he is the founder of smarthustle.com and the Smart Hustle podcast, which Alan is a big fan of the Smart Hustle podcast. So anyway, Ramon, welcome to Virtual Lunch. It's great to have you here today.
Thank you, Marlis. I appreciate it so much. And it's great to be here with you, your team. And thanks for having me. Thanks for seeing value to share with your community. It's amazing. I've been watching the comments, and Alan and Arlene and Amanda and so many Pat are here and engaging. So thank you all for spending time with me and Marlis today. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. And Amanda says she loves the idea of digital charisma. So yeah, I think, and it's kind of back to where I was talking about initially, that first article that I shared about the love of words and the way you present things. Ramon, you're so good at that digital charisma. It's like, what a great concept and what a great way of framing that. So just talk to us a little bit about what is digital charisma and why is it so important?
Sure. Let's assume, Marlis, and start here that somebody has charisma offline. Let's just start there, because if you don't have charisma, and what is charisma? For me, it's peppy, you're happy, you're hey, how are you? You have a smile to your face. That's the summary of it. And I think let's assume that somebody's that way in the offline world. But Marlis, as you know, and everybody listening, over the past year, especially, all of us pretty much have had to do what we do just behind a video camera. So I think that was the question which came up of, man, how do we translate this into the online world? And that's where I express, I'm happy to go over those points if you want, but that's where I express some of those key points of how do we do that online? And some of the key things were, I think, our voice, right? That's one thing.
Right.
Our smile, looking at the camera. So that's really this aspect, because I can't shake your hand, can't give you a hug, I can't give you a high five, I can't say, hey, everybody, stand up, put your hands together as the music. No, it's just me and the camera. So how do we do that in this quote unquote virtual world? That's what we're trying to convey.
Right. Well, and like you said, a lot of it is your voice, because I can give 2 examples of webinars that I have sat on, or started to sit on. I should say one I sat through, the other one I did not. But the one, she talked so fast and she mumbled. And both of these, by the way, were software instruction. So it was like the kind of thing where you really needed to pay attention and focus and really get what they were talking about. The first one, when she was mumbling so bad and people kept typing in the comments, can you please slow down? And she would acknowledge that and she'd do okay for a few sentences and then she'd be back to blah, 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 and it was really hard. Well, I hung with that one.
What did she say again? She said, blah, blah, blah. No. Go ahead.
But yeah, it's like, check out that transcript and see if you can figure it out, But then the second one was so bad. I turned him off after about 5 minutes because he was like this and he was monotone and you couldn't hear it. And it was like, oh my goodness, that's just horrible. And I think, okay, if you're going to present your software, your product, and you're wanting to get people to sign up for it, put your best person on camera, really?
Yeah, that's right. And it takes, in fairness, Marlis, it takes sometimes training. But again, people who may have otherwise been okay or done well in the offline world, online, as you know, you and I are doing this now. You have to step it up. And I don't know what to tell people who can't. Maybe I would say the solution, probably have a good moderator. Let's say I'm that person that's not so great. Marlis then can bring it out of me by stopping me, asking me questions when she senses the energy down. Ramon, that was great. Tell us again how the W482965874A widget worked again. So
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's part of it is that people I think that when that little red light, or in my case it's a green light on my computer, comes on, it's like a lot of people just kind of and I found, and maybe you found too, that even sometimes professional speakers that are great on stage, they just can't bring it on camera. And so it really is something that takes practice and getting used to that. Patty says being an expert doesn't always make good face for the product or promotion. Yeah, that's true.
True, Patty, indeed. And you're right about that. And I think part of that, Marlis, is that, it's part of that audience engagement is one, I think. And I think the overall awareness of it is that if you're aware that I'm in a virtual environment, so there's the chat, there's the camera here, there's the host, right? Being careful of that too. It's Marlis's show. It's not Ramon's show. So those few elements, I think, will make part of that of charisma. I'm asking questions, and you've done it well. You called out people. You have the lower thirds because you're a baller. But those who are learning, that's all part of this package. The smile we do, face interactions, not while Marlis is talking. I'm like this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen a lot of that too.
I mean, do you realize that people are staring at me too, even though Marlis was talking? Hello.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing to me how many people just don't even stop to think that they're really on camera. They're just kind of like, digging around at things or whatever. And it's like, oh, come on, focus, And I have to say, it's hard for me because, I want to look at your face on the screen, not continue to look at the camera. So sometimes it is a little bit challenging, and the chat and everything else. But, part of it is I've been teaching webinars for 12, 13 years. So this isn't a total shock for me, but a lot of people, it's a whole new thing. So let's talk about some of the points from your article that you went over. We've talked a little bit already about eye contact or camera eye contact, but kind of go into that a little bit more in the whole, acknowledging the audience.
Absolutely. And I think the main thing is, and probably those who are experts know this, but just to help those maybe listening to this afterwards, it's knee-jerk reaction. Let's say Marlis is on the screen. If I'm going like this, yes, that's great, awesome. Oh yeah, but see how weird this looks? This looks terrible to you, all right? My forehead's in the way and all this. Even though I'm not looking at you, as Marlis already knows, but those learning, this is what you want to do. So I think that's one big thing. Look at that lens, make it your friend. If you have to put Marlis's picture up there, but that's who you want to look, because to the audience, it makes it look like I'm looking at them. So I think that's one thing. I think, two, definitely the chat. I think it's a powerful way to bring in the audience. I'm not going to do it here because it's a little different system, but I can see the chat, right? Even when I came in, I acknowledged some of the people. Patty, thank you. And Alan, thank you. I acknowledge as they came on. So that's important for a longer session. If I was doing this for 60 minutes, bring in the audience, right? You'd say, hey, if you agree that burnt pancakes is the best breakfast in the world, put yes. I don't see anybody putting yes, Marlis. I guess not.
I don't see anybody either.
But things like that. So I think that's two. And I think, as we said before, I think that voice is important. Pause. Go fast. Go slow. Punctuate the voice. And again, Marlis and I have done this for years, but for those learning, maybe you're today not going to be exactly as we're doing, but I bet you'll be a bit better tomorrow translating your charisma online if you take just a few of these tips with how you can be more aware of what you're doing. And I think part of it, Marlis, is that it's just being aware. That's what the key is.
Well, that's true. And looking at it as if you were an audience member. I think that's part of it too, is, not just being so focused just on what you're saying, but focus on how it's coming across. and I think I've seen a lot of people, just the way they frame themselves and everything. Every time I'm doing workshops now for exhibitors for virtual exhibiting, I tell them, don't sit with a window behind you, because then you get that whole witness protection look.
We don't want that.
That's not the look you're going for, So it's like, there's a lot, and obviously you have a lot more of a stylized backdrop than I do. I just have my picture on the wall. But, tell us a little bit more about staging. And I know you do some things with props too.
Absolutely, I do. And if anybody, the chats maybe puts the keyword puppet or bell, maybe I'll bring it out. If not, then I won't do it. That's fine. But point is that I think, yes. So for me, just to present what this is the best I can do right now. Some options are you can do a DLSR camera, right? The fancy, more expensive camera, have the background blurred, maybe better quality. So that's one thing. Two, there's a light above me, which kind of has some of that shine on there, but it's okay for what I'm doing at this time. I do have lights here, Marlis, and I'll just to show people, I'm turning them off. You may not see a big difference, but these are just two small lights that I have clipping on there. That's one. And then the framing, I'll just show you. This is a movable wall right here. I have this just to hide some things over there. And this is the painting. I didn't get it for a digital world, but I thought it fit kind of Ramon. It's a bit busy, but this is my style. For Marlis, she may say, I want something simpler, but you can see she has red on. So she pops in what she has. So I'll pause there to give you top space, Marlis, but those are a few things what I'd say about how it works. And there's no perfect, but as you said, the big thing is, I think have it look a little neat, a little symmetric. That's what I would say.
Well, and I like how you talked about the fact that you brought in things that reflect your personality. So, right. It all needs to be authentic and connected somehow, and not just look like it's, thrown together, which is what most people's background. Oh, and then the whole idea of the virtual backgrounds, don't even get me started on that. I think that, when somebody half their face and their shoulder keeps disappearing, It's like, just don't do that.
And if people have to have it, as Marlise, I think the experts have said it's great lighting and simpler background or something. That's the best way to make a virtual. I think it's the lighting, something like that people have said, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, back to your burnt pancakes comments. We got some replies here. Rama says her daughter made burnt pancakes yesterday. She wasn't thrilled. So, and I also noticed she doesn't admit whether or not she ate any of them. Chris says banana pancakes, not burnt.
Not bad.
Wendy likes Rama's comment. Wendy says, great tips, Ramon. A work in progress is good aim. And that's true. I think that, a lot of us feel like, especially now we're watching professional broadcasters, newscasters broadcast from home. And so we kind of tend to compare ourselves to that. And it's like, we're not on that level, and we probably don't have the kind of equipment they have, but that's something that we can work towards.
That's right. Correct. And I think that's important. You're saying, listen, when I first started, of course, for years, as you and I have had some decent equipment, but the first day of COVID, guess what? Not the first day of COVID, I didn't have these two lights. I had this microphone in a drawer. Somebody asked about the microphone. I'll just hold it up. Nothing special for Marlis, but for some of you, I hope my mic didn't disconnect. So this is just a regular podcaster's mic. And the background has evolved. For sure, evolved. So, and I think by now, Marlis, and I think you probably will agree, I think everybody who does this frequently, you should have the very least good lighting, a decent microphone so your voice sounds legit. It's been a year. Come on, people. Smacking on the back of the hand.
Yeah. Well, and in the beginning, it was really hard to get equipment too. I know like ring lights were sold out almost immediately. And, there were a lot of pieces of equipment, and there's still some hit and miss things on mics, but, and it doesn't have to be a super expensive mic. I always tell people I did the first 10 plus years of my podcast with a cheap $25 mic, so it wasn't anything fancy. And then I got my pro mic, which mine's just a little too far off camera to show, but, I spent over $100 on this one, but I didn't spend $500. I mean, it wasn't hugely expensive, but, just upgrading the equipment a little bit, and lighting, again, the ring lights, those aren't terribly expensive. I love how Arlene says, I'm feeling Ramon's ray of sunshine through his feed, loving his energy. And that's what I told you guys in the beginning. It's like, he's like the perfect representative for digital charisma, because every time I've seen Ramon speak, he's just so enthusiastic, and it just comes right through the camera.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, I love what I do, and I think we all have different ways we present ourselves. And for me, I don't take myself too seriously. I love to have a lot of fun. In fact, it's part of our core values: have fun and do the right thing. And that's me. But thank you, Amanda, for those kind words. I see. Oh, Amanda said something good too. Yes.
Yeah. So Amanda wants to know what kind of microphone you're using.
Yep. So the microphone I have, but again, the microphone type and all that doesn't matter so much, but I'll just share with you. But just look for a podcast microphone, but usually they have some weight to it. So this is now an older mic that's not sold anymore, made by M Audio. But I'm sure Marlis may have in her head some of the famous names. They're just Yeti, that's one, but I'm skipping. But this is just a microphone, USB connection. And then this is to take out the pop. Like if you don't have it, you may not hear it here, but sometimes the S and the what's or whatever it is. I'm not a linguist, but that's what the people like Marlo say I should have if I have it. And then I have this little thing to just keep the wind out so it sounds a bit more crisp. That's what I have.
Yes. Yes. Sometimes also referred to as spit guard.
Yes, that too.
and just FYI, the mic that I use is the Audio Technica AT2020. Love my new mic.
Audio Technica has some good brands, very good brands.
So yeah, but like Ramon mentioned, there's Yeti, there's Rode. Rode has a number of different mics. So, there's a lot of different things that you can get. But so let's see. So
Marlis, if people want to buy our equipment, I must say, I know I can speak for Marlis. You can buy her mic from her for $10,000. If you want to pay her the money right now, her and I both will sell you our equipment. So if you want my lights, what do you think, Marlis? $5,000 today?
Yeah.
Yours.
Yeah, sounds good. Amanda says, I need some more equipment. So any clip lights and decent microphone recommendations that won't break the bank would be great. So so we gave you a few mic recommendations. As far as lights, what do you use for lights?
That's kind of my one here. It's hard to tell it, but there's a little clip here. You can see me doing that. I clip into my desk. I won't shine it in your eye, but it has a gooseneck on it. Let me see. Yeah, that's kind of looks weird here, but that's all I have. I have two of these left and right of me facing my face, and it works for me. So.
Yeah. And at this point in time, I just have a ceiling fan that the light points right down on me. So I actually just ordered a ring light to use, when I do with my phone or something else. But I mean, there's even just like you can get one of those utility lights from Lowe's or Home Depot and use that, I mean, it doesn't have to break the bank. So there's lots of options. Amanda says, thank you for the recommendations. And Chris points out something interesting. Ramon's spit guard and the circles in the backdrop create a nice circular pattern.
Thank you, Chris. And Chris, you know what, Chris? If you tell me whoever says if they find Mickey Mouse, I will just send you in the mail a copy of my book. Who can find Mickey Mouse? Not Ernie, because Ernie, you can see if I move.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm waiting for Ernie to make an appearance here.
Since you asked, but who can find Mickey Mouse? Who can find Mickey Mouse? We have a few more seconds here.
I see Mickey.
You see Mickey? Okay.
I see Mickey.
Okay, awesome. Now, but Marlis, how are you? I don't even know if this is the right accent, but I just wanted to say thank you for having me. I love to go to different countries and do puppet shows for little kids. That's just part of me being crazy. I don't even know if I got it right, but I like to have fun. Hi, Ramon, how are you? So that's Ernie having a cameo with Marlis and company and friends.
Oh, I love it. That's my first time interviewing a Muppet celebrity. So
there you go.
So Chris says in the circles. Amanda says on the blue picture.
All right. I saw Chris's first, Marlis. So there's a problem that your community will be mad at you, not at me. I'll be gone soon. Yeah. So Chris, no, who was it? Chris, I will send you.
Actually, I just realized some of these are popping in. I don't know. They're out of order now. So now I see Rama said she found the hidden Mickey 5 minutes ago in the artwork.
Okay, Rama.
So
I'm the judge and jury. It's all yours. Just email me. Marlis can help you do that, or you can find me online and I will send you a copy. It's all yours.
Awesome. and Chris says Ernie sounds like Elmo.
Yeah. I'll make sure I let him know.
Yeah, I think as far as Muppets, most all of them are voiced by about the same person, or maybe the same person. I think in the beginning wasn't Jim Henson the voice of all of them?
Probably was, indeed.
So, yeah, we're all showing our age. We all grew up with the Muppets, so
right.
We're waiting for Statler and Waldorf to appear on here too.
Forget about it. What a
All
fun
right,
show.
let's see. Anything else you want to share? We kind of went all over the place here
Sure.
with some of our tips, but any other points that are really important that you think we've missed so far?
Yeah, regarding digital charisma, I think, listen, just be yourself. I can't be you. You can't be me talking to the amazing Amanda, Chris, and Rama and Tim and so many others here. We just have to be who we are. But I do think it's important that all of us do our best to just level up. Nobody wants to talk in a monotone voice, right? That's just kind of a no-no. Nobody wants an aspect of boredom where you're putting people asleep. That's kind of a no-no. You do want to look in the camera and have your area well. Once you get that right, the rest you'll figure out. And we all have different, some people speak more in depth than I do, right? I happen to be a short, to the point person. So those are a few tips. And it's just been, thank you very much, Alan. It's been great to be here. And as Alan puts there, if I can help anybody, inspire you, you can find me out at smarthustle.com. And Marlis, what a great show. I loved your news and tips at the beginning. That was really cool. That was baller.
Thanks, Ramon. Yeah. Well, and it's great to have you on because it's always fun to have a fellow podcaster because we all have so many things that we could share and ideas and it's just I think that there's so much potential for people and like Ramon said, you don't have to have expensive equipment. You don't have to have a professional broadcasting background, but there really are a lot of simple things that you can do to up level your game. And I think as we go forward, even though we're going to get back to live events, I think that having that digital presence and that digital charisma is really going to serve you well. And, there's so many ways to use it, even in a face-to-face world. There's all kinds of video marketing opportunities. So Ramon, thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here today. This was a lot of fun and definitely probably about the most laughs we've had on any virtual lunch so far with Ernie's appearance and everything.
We have to. But Marlis, thanks for having me. Pleasure to be here. And I love your community. Love what you're doing. All the best to what you're doing. Thank you.
You can find all the links mentioned during our interview in this episode's show notes at tradeshowinsights.com. And if you'd like to join us for an upcoming virtual lunch, you'll find info on that at exhibitmarketerscafe.com/lunch. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like more, you can subscribe to the podcast and automatically receive future episodes on your chosen device. Simply search for Trade Show Insights in Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, or virtually anywhere else that podcasts are found, then click the subscribe button. Trade Show Insights is protected by the Creative Commons copyright license. You may feel free to share this recording with colleagues or embed it on your own blog as long as it's shared in its entirety and is not used for commercial purposes. To learn more, please see the link in the sidebar of the show notes at tradeshowinsights.com. Well, that's it for this episode of Trade Show Insights. Be sure to check out our show notes and archives at tradeshowinsights.com. You can also connect with me using the social media links or the contact page on the site. I'm Marlis Arnold. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us next time for more tools to improve your exhibit results.